Hey guys, how you doing? This is JP Saricolia coming to you again with another episode of the Sunday News, where I really talk about some of the highlights of this past week and also some of the upcoming events. So without further ado, let's just get into it. Well, as you know, I've been doing a lot of book reviews for Tomb Raider for the classic run, for the Top Cow run, and definitely this is Tomb Raider month. There's a lot of stuff with Tomb Raider. A lot of people are talking about Tomb Raider, particularly Shadow, the Tomb Raider game that is just coming out. That already came out. It came out this weekend for sale, so it's everywhere. You can find it everywhere. You can order online. You can go to your local store, retail store, and you can find a copy of it. Definitely, really a fan of the I think the series overall, but also I'm a fan of this newer series. I definitely like the original comics, but I really like the approach of this new video games. And Shadow of the Tomb Raider, there's a lot of reviews already out there, and there's a lot of praise for it. I really like when they pretty much reboot the whole thing. I'm a fan of Tomb Raider, of course, Rise of the Tomb Raider. My daughter, she loves the games. She has finished them and all the different difficulties. She has played time and time again. She really loves Lara Croft. So I know a lot of people are not crazy about this Lara Croft. They say that this, it is more to the, it kind of gives a lot more to the feminist people, feminist side, trying to kind of touch some of the emotions, and it's a little more emotional than what we used to see. Younger version, of course. But I really like it. I really definitely like it. I think Tomb Raider is a bigger than life character that a lot of people love, not only males, just because of her physical characteristics, but I think it's just because what she represents as a strong female character. And definitely really looking forward to the game. You can find the link is below, so if you're interested to look it up on Amazon or order through Amazon, just do it. But yes, I definitely really like it. I'm definitely gonna really play this game. Also, this week we have a reveal for Samurai Spirits, or known here in North America and other parts of the world as Samurai Shodown. SNK is celebrating 40 years as a company. 40 years is a long time. Of course, not 40 years everywhere, but 40 years starting in Japan. And SNK, of course, now we haven't celebrated the 25th anniversary of Samurai Shodown. I still remember back in the 90s when Samurai Shodown came for the first time. When I saw it for the first time at the arcades. It was amazing. To me, it was an amazing experience just to see Samurai Shodown. It was just beautiful. It was beautifully rendered. The image was so clean. It was drawn. It was not the polygons. It was just beautiful. It was just a beautiful image, and definitely it really kind of kick-started what SNK did through the Neo Geo and through all the MVSs and all those games. It was just it was an amazing time. Samurai Shodown was at the forefront of it. Really pushing that, then of course you have Fatal Fury, you have all the other games, they came, a lot of games that came, Art of Fighting, all of them. But definitely Samurai Shodown was actually the one that introduced a lot of people into SNK beautiful lineup of games. So we saw this reveal where we really see these characters now rendered in a 3D, but in a very 3D. We had a Samurai Shodown Sand, if I'm not mistaken, for the 360. Which was a pitiful game in the sense it was beautiful. People were having so high hopes, but the game mechanics were so terrible. This one looks like it has taken that out and it has improved on it. It does have the the 2D and 3D, the 2D figures with the 3D backgrounds, which is a 2.5. It's definitely really good. It really looks a lot. They in this case, SNK is taking the approach that Capcom did with Street Fighter 4, and it really looks great. You saw the trailer. It's a very small trailer, but there were some of the classic characters that were already known. They're there, and it looks gorgeous. So I'm definitely looking forward to know more about this. It's coming out next year, so it's definitely going to be one of the ones that I'm going to get day one. Now, talking more about retro games, the Polymega is one of those that a lot of people have been talking about. You probably have seen a lot of their commercials on Facebook. They seem to be everywhere now. You see some of the videos. A lot of people have been talking about Polymega. Polymega is a system that is it's a clone system that is going to be able to play different games for different companies for different consoles. So you're gonna be able to play a lot, big list. Of course, they're making it bigger than it is. They said that it's gonna play, I think it's over 30 something or something like that. Some ridiculous amount of number of consoles. But technically, what they did in their listing, they call it for the different names they are. Let's say, for example, they say, oh, we're gonna play Famicom games. It's gonna play Nintendo games, NES games. So they're the same thing. Of course, they're different zones. So the Super Famicom and the Super Nintendo are just the same thing. So don't just call it like that. That's kind of trying to cheat people by buying because they think they have the biggest deal. Of course, some of these consoles played that way, but of course, you have the Mega Drive and the Sega Genesis are the same. So the same thing, but it's going to play PC Engine with the TurboGrafx. And there's going to be all kind of different games there. And I think this week we saw it revealed what actually it was running Sega Saturn. So a lot of people got really excited. It's really running it pretty good. It's a great system. The price point I think is $250. You can pre-order now. It's coming out next year. It's going to also be for sale in some retailers. I'm sure the GameStop or even Best Buy are going to have them. But some other retailers, the basic console, you play CDs. You can play PlayStation games with it. PlayStation disc. You can play Sega Saturn. You can play some of the Neo Geo CD. I think you can play some of the CDs for the TurboGrafx. So you're going to be able to play a lot of things there, just starting, which is great, particularly the Sega Saturn, which there are not really clones out there. So this is going to be great to be able to play it on high definition. Finally, a lot of people are asking for the Dreamcast to be added. Hopefully in the future they can add, because you're going to be able to add different modules into this. So if you want to add, you want to be able to play Mega Drive games or Sega Genesis games, you have to buy the modules separate. You want to play in this case, Nintendo games or Super Nintendo games, you want to play Famicom, Super Famicom, you have to add a different module. So it's going to be different modules for the PC Engine, which is the TurboGrafx. It's going to be a different module. You can buy all in one single package, which is pricey, but everything can be included, so you can play that. And this, as it is, and I was going through the website, it doesn't play the ROMs yet. It plays through emulation, but you can really upload or you can download ROMs into it. I'm sure that someone is going to hack it at some point. People are already talking about it, so we'll see how they do it. It would be great if you were able to do everything, download your ROMs to it. But definitely, this is gonna work technically as an emulator. It's gonna pretty much take the ROM from the games that you're playing or the games that you insert. It's gonna play them as in ROM. So it kind of works the same way. So we'll see what happens. I'm cautiously optimistic about it. A lot of people are cautiously optimistic. Not sure. We've been burned many times before with different projects like this. So hopefully they can deliver what they promise. It seems that they're working every angle. So we'll see what happens next year. So I'm really looking forward to having pre-order. I'm not going to pre-order. I'm going to wait to see the first reactions from people here on YouTube. Now, moving from gaming into television, into TV shows. Of course, we saw the reveal this week of Daredevil Season 3. It was a very small trailer, confessional, very dark in tone. So they're going into a different route now with Daredevil. They're going into a more modern route with modern runs with Daredevil, which is good. We'll see what happens. Definitely, really looks like it's going to amp the darkness of the show and also the action and the dark elements, of course, like I said. But also, it's going to amp some of that. Some of the tension in the middle of the show. So we don't know how it's going to be. I'm really excited. I was actually talking to my wife the other day, and we were thinking, when is Daredevil Season 3 is going to come out? We're really looking forward to it. We really love Season 1, Season 2. Of course, we have seen everything else that has come after that, which is good. But definitely Daredevil to me is the top tier. So I'm really looking forward to it for this new season. Really liking what what they present. It's very small, but I want to see more. I want some of those. I want to tie this up even more with the Kingpin and everyone else that had been there in the past. So we'll see what happens. Now, moving from Marvel to DC. As I'm a fan, I love Marvel. I love DC. I'm a fan. I wouldn't consider myself a hardcore fan, but I'm a big fan. I've been a fan since I was a kid. So now DC is, of course, we talked about this before, is sending this new service, DC Universe service online or something like that, DC Universe. It's a paid service where you actually pay a year, I think $74.99, and you have access to thousands of comic books through their service, thousands of shows through their app, and you can watch the shows, you can watch the TV, you can have special offers, you have all kind of things. Definitely, some of the people that review it, they review it. I haven't really seen it. I haven't really subscribed to it yet. But some of the people that have seen it and reviewed it, that have mentioned that the interface is great. It's a great interface. You can do all things. There is a lack of hyperlinks where you can actually, in the app, you go to a story, because you can actually, there in encyclopedia, you can actually find the story of all the characters, and you can choose the characters and go to the stories and read a lot of information, which I love. I love that. But it doesn't direct you with the hyperlinks to like I say, a show or a specific episode, or a comic book in particular, which hopefully they change. That's what the reviewers initially were saying. I don't know if they're gonna change it. They said they were thinking about doing it and processing that. Of course, like every other app, it goes through revisions, it goes through changes. But a lot of people say that it was easy to navigate, very simple to use, and I've seen some of the videos and it does look good. However, the content is extremely limited in my opinion. I saw the shows. If you're a DC fan, like I said, you don't have to be a hardcore fan, but I'm in between, I would say, between a hardcore and a big fan. So I do own a lot of these shows. I own them physically on DVD or Blu-ray, and I also own them digitally. And also sometimes I even own all of them together. So it just, to me, I don't see the point of paying $74.99, which is really steep for something that is bare bones. I just don't. And people say, well, it's just $7 something a week. I pay less than that for, when I sign up for, Netflix years ago. I wanted the first subscribers of Netflix. So I had the deal for years where I was just paying little. But I have so much content which I can go back. I don't know. I don't see that. I have not only the same content for Netflix, but I have a variety of content. And this is the problem here, that the content is only directed towards DC stuff. How many times can you watch the movie? So how many times can you watch the same show over and over and over again? Even though I have done that, I just don't see the point. There's how much stuff there. And the comics, I'm a big digital comic book reader. I have thousands and thousands of comic books through Comixology, through the DC app, through the Marvel app, through other companies. I use all the single companies, Image Comics, I use everyone, IDW, Dark Horse. So I've been collecting comic books, digital comic books for years. So I have all the collections that I want, I have. Everything that add up is kind of new. So to me, I don't see the point of this. I feel that it's waste of money in my opinion. I think they started with really high with the price. They haven't really built. Of course, a lot of people say, well, they're going to bring shows into it, which is going to kind of make up for the money. But a lot of the shows, I don't see the point yet, because we don't know how good they're going to be. And so far, nothing has really impressed me to that point. And I think the price is still too high. When I can pay $60 and play PlayStation games and get free games from PlayStation, or I can pay $60 for Xbox and play online and do all kind of things and get discounts all the time. Now, continuing with DC, as you know, there was big rumors spreading all around all week, and there were all kind of sites talking about it, and there was some back and forth, and some people denying it, and then of course people saying that wasn't true, and blah blah blah. So it was a big fight. Henry Cavill leaving Superman. At this point, I don't even know if it's true or not. Everybody says that it's not. His agent came out and said, well, there was just it's a mistake, and we continue with this relationship we have with DC. We're gonna continue on, and blah blah blah. So to me, I think there was probably, and it's very likely that there was some type of money dispute in the middle. And of course, Henry Cavill said, well, if you don't pay me more, then I'm leaving. I think that they try to address that, and they spread it out there so people can kind of voice their opinion, because everybody's going to jump on it. And of course, probably Warner Brothers came back and says, well, we'll pay you whatever you want. I think that's what happened behind closed doors. Of course, it's just a speculation from my part, but based on the previous experience and things that we have seen in the past, is very likely. I think DC is struggling with their and that's nothing new. That's something that we know. They have struggled with some of their movies. They have struggled. Of course, You know, what they happened with Batman. So a lot of the things that are happening, DC's kind of crumbling. You see this house is crumbling from the inside out. The biggest seller was Wonder Woman. They were not expecting much from it, but it really hit because it really hit the right course for the fans. No, so much with Superman. It's very divisive. I really like Henry Cavill as Superman. I'm not crazy about the approach to the character and the movies that we have seen so far with him. So, and the problem goes back to the fact that in this case, DC has tried to copy Marvel all around, all the way, trying to do this, banking on the fact that people love Superman regardless, or Batman regardless, or the Justice League as a whole. And I think that's the biggest mistake that DC has done and continues to make, is just to relying on that. I think they're realizing that they have made those mistakes and they're trying to correct course, but they're trying to do it in the way. And to me, I feel that at some point, maybe the best approach to this will be just to revamp the whole thing. And I know a lot of people are going to be disappointed with this. But this really showcases one of the biggest problems, and I'm going now to the end of this video. One of the biggest points and the big difference between Marvel and DC. As we know, we love Marvel. We love DC. I grew up with both, franchises. I'm not one person that's with one. I always see people, they say, "Oh, I love DC more than Marvel. Well, I love Marvel more than DC." I love comics. I don't care who is better or not, because I grew up with Batman, which was a hero to me as a kid, and I grew up with Spider-Man, who was a hero to me as well. They were both my biggest heroes. I love Marvel. I love DC. I love their separate universes. I have a lot of admiration for Superman, a lot of admiration for Captain America. To me, they are two powerful forces, kind of side by side. But we have to be honest, Marvel has done a better job in their cinematic universe, has done a much better job, because they knew, even with all the limitations, because they make a big mistake to giving all the rights away to different companies that were producing a lot of really crappy stuff for them. So when Marvel came to the table, and they say, let's just make our movie with our universe. They only have limited characters. They only have characters that people, a lot of them people did not know, second, third tier characters. And they work from the ground up and they build this franchise to what it is now. And people love and they want to see more because they did the homework. They started from the beginning. They build it up. Well, DC has always banked on the same characters, as Batman or Superman. And that's what they have always done. And they have always limited themselves to it because it's easier just to make money from characters that people love since childhood. People want to see a concise story. They want to see something that is built from the ground up. They want to care about the stories. Yes, I care about Superman, but if I'm watching the movie, I'm watching it from the perspective of a movie. I want to see the beginning, I want to see the middle, I want to see the end. I want to see everything moving forward in one direction, not just start in the middle, well, I really don't care much about, and then try to build it up. And that's what they have done. And I think that's what's caused the problem, the financial problem. So the reason why Justice League didn't do well financially, and they lost money in the process. Of course, now Warner Brothers is trying to figure it out, maybe trying to capitalize, trying to do this and that. And it goes back to what I said with the service that they were doing. They're doing for $74.99. DC is trying to start something here at the top, because they assume, oh, we have these characters that everybody loves, everybody's going to pay the money. Not everyone is going to do it. I'm sorry. A lot of people get so disappointed that they say, you know what, forget this. I ain't supporting your movies. I ain't supporting you. And this is the problem with DC. They bank on it so much that they forget. They are not humble enough to admit that they need work. That there is work that needs to be done. That if they want to build something, they're gonna have to start from the bottom up, and they have to build it up. So I'm definitely looking forward to more stuff from DC. I'm supporting DC as much as I can. You know, Wonder Woman has my heart, definitely does, and I'm looking forward to the movie next year. Aquaman, looking forward to Aquaman. Definitely looks cool. I think it looks has the right approach. But definitely, there's times where I just had to say, you know, DC, you know, wake up. You need to start doing the right thing. At least, you know, realize what are your limitations and work with them. You know, and if you want to give people more and you want to make money, then just start low. Start at the bottom. Maybe you need to bring, second, third tier characters. Start from them, like Shazam. Like, I love what they're trying to do with Shazam. Definitely, I think that's the right approach. I think they're learning from those mistakes. And if you need to revamp the whole thing, and you need to revamp it, Henry Cavill has to go, and everybody else has to go, well, just so be it. But do it for the fans. Do it from the beginning. And at some point, they're gonna revamp this, and at some point, Marvel is gonna revamp the whole thing. Once the generation is gone, you have to move to the next generation. But just do it, wisely. So once again, thank you for watching this video, and thank you for watching my rants. Actually, it seems like the Sunday videos are more like a rant to me in the end about certain things. But I'm a fan. I'm very passionate about what I do. So I thank you for taking the time. Thank you for supporting my channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on the different platforms, and don't forget there are links below. So just go to those links if you're interested in any of the products that have been mentioned here. So once again, thank you. God bless you, and I'll talk to you again. Bye bye.
We can make a wildfire get away.